Hey, what's going on? It's Stokely from Sauce on Delay. I got this fitness tracker and I like it so far, and it confirms that I don't respond well to stress, because when I'm stressed out, my heart rate goes above 100, and even when I'm in a relatively rested position or state, and there's a lot of times where I'm just having I would assume anxiety, because I haven't been eating salt too much for the past 3 days or so. I've been religiously trying to drink water. The first thing I get up in the morning, I drink some water. I think I feel better too, and I don't feel as hungry. I'm eating maybe 1 or 2 meals per day right now. I did have some eggs this morning. I put some salt on it, so I don't know, but my heart rate is about 82 right now. I'm driving. The only thing about the driving in New York, there's a lot of potholes, so when you bump into a pothole, it registers as a step on the on the fitness tracker. So I've been driving a lot, and well, not really a lot, but I've been driving, and all of those bumps are registering as steps, and I haven't made almost 3,000 steps today. Those are all potholes. But my initial interest, or my initial concern, stemmed from my worry about having high blood pressure and maybe potentially a sensitivity to salt. And strangely enough, there's an article, I think it's in the Wall Street Journal. I'm gonna try to retrieve it right now. About high blood pressure or something like that. So let me see if I can find it, because what I did was I sent it from one of my Instagram accounts to my other Instagram account, and I'm trying to see if I can find it now, because there's so many articles that I put here. Okay, here we go. America's diet has a sandwich problem. This is Wall Street Journal. It says the humble sandwich is the saboteur of the American diet. Most Americans consume too much sodium, sugar, and saturated fat. According to the government survey, sandwiches, which almost half of Americans eat on any given day, are a primary culprit. Nutritionists, doctors, and public health officials are trying to nudge people to make their sandwiches healthier, believing that even simple changes can improve health. Sandwiches are the number one source of sodium and saturated fat in Americans' diet, making up about 1/5 of our daily sodium intake and 19% of our saturated fat calories, according to analysis of federal survey data. Sandwiches contribute 7% of daily added sugars, the same percentage as breakfast cereals and bars. Excess sodium increases blood pressure, which raises the risk of heart disease and stroke. People also eat an extra nearly 100 calories on the days they eat sandwiches, according to the University of Illinois. Now I'm driving, so I was at a stoplight, so I could read that part. But you see, what they're saying is Americans eat too much sodium, which leads to high blood pressure, heart disease, and stroke. And I think the number one killer of women is heart disease. And in the sandwich, they really refer to mostly the cheese. And I like American cheese. When I do eat dairy, and I get cheese, I want American cheese. American cheese is very salty. They're also talking about the cold cuts also. Cold cuts are salty, and the American cheese is salty. So we definitely eat a lot of salt. Salt makes things pop, makes flavor pop. You can leave the salt out of something, and it'll be okay, but the salt really amplifies the flavor, so this is not only a concern that I'm having, this is a concern of doctors and a lot of health officials. And like I said, I'm happy that some of these social media companies aggregate information based on what they see you look at. So they see I'm looking at health stuff, they see that I'm Googling about sodium and high blood pressure, and they're bringing that information to me so that I can get more educated and help myself regarding that. So on that point, they're good. But if you're looking for bad stuff, they're going to bring bad stuff to you. So that would probably encourage you to stay away from bad content. Stay away from the twerking and the pornography and the drug use and the rap music and all the whatever. Stay away from that. That's not really teaching you anything. It's not going to teach you anything that's going to benefit you or help you improve your situation or get out of your struggle. So that's what I would say. Stick to stuff. Whatever you want to attract, that's what you need to put your energy towards. So let me see if I can. I'm at another stoplight. Let's see if I can just go through the slides real quickly. So first slide says American diet has a sandwich problem. America's favorite lunch is a heart bomb of salt, preservatives, and sugar. But doctor says there's a way to build a healthier sandwich. Here's how. While the typical American sandwich, like the one on the right, is filled with sodium and preservatives, you can make a far healthier version pretty easily. See left. So they're saying use chicken breast and stuff like that if that's what you're into. White bread quickly turns into sugar, causing blood glucose to shoot up and an insulin spike to compensate. 100% whole grain bread is high in fiber and keeps you fuller longer. So they're talking about the glycemic index of white bread and stuff like that. So, that's why you eat whole wheat bread. It has a slower burn. It releases its sugar very slow. So it keeps you fuller longer, while white bread gives you a fast, it digests faster. Yeah, it gives you a big sugar rush and a big spike in your insulin, which would lead to you having insulin resistance if you're not only eating this sandwich, but you're probably drinking a soda with it, if you're really doing bad, or drinking some sugary drink with it, if you're really being reckless. So your glycemic index is shooting up, your glucose is shooting up, and your insulin is shooting up. So your body is just trying to pump out insulin, and then your muscles and the parts of your body that process the insulin are like, hey, I can't handle this. I'm going to stop taking so much because you're overdoing it. So then when you develop insulin resistance, then you got diabetes. So, you don't want to abuse your body too much with that. So next slide says, go for chicken breast instead of processed deli meat. Okay, we already said that. Okay, so that's it really. Sodium, preservatives, and the sugar and the white breads, the thing about whole wheat bread though, whole wheat bread, you're more likely to have an encounter with gluten when you eat whole wheat bread, especially if it's like an organic whole wheat bread. It's not highly processed. They really have to process the wheat to get the gluten out of it. So whole wheat organic type bread that's healthy is going to have gluten in it. So you make a kind of trade-off there. That's if you have a gluten intolerance, which I don't think most people have. I don't suspect so. I don't know. So gluten-free is not one of the big concerns that I have per se, but it's something that I need to look into. But it has fiber, so it kind of helps you balance out that whole worry about the gluten and stuff sticking in your intestines and stuff like that. So heart disease, high blood pressure, stroke, all of that. You gotta be careful, I mean, I love salt too. I love salt like everybody else. I love sugar like everybody else, but I don't think it loves us back so much. Everything in moderation, even in your relationship. You see a person too much, they said familiarity breeds contempt. So that means if you're around somebody too much, eventually you kind of get annoyed with them, But I don't know. Maybe you're just a wonderful person that people just want to be around and can't get enough of, right? I don't know how long that lasts, but thanks for listening. That's it.